Okay, this is looking good. It's pretty well populated. Are these rocks that are the result of the spaceship smashing through? You might think of like kind of the scatter of them, maybe some more little ones. Maybe not quite as many too, if that's the purpose of those rocks. For cutting, there's probably a lot of different ways to cut a hole in a wall, but one thing I've done is just kind of isolate this for a second. Control Shift X for the multi-cut tool, and then just start, you know, let's say we're trying to make a hole in here. I'm just, um, I don't know if this is really the best way, but you can kind of, let's use this maybe. And then Control E, and then, you know, get some thickness to it. I mean, I'm not particularly in love with that shape, but just as like a process, that's one approach that you could take to making a jagged hole. And then, of course, you can adjust these edges some more. And I don't know, maybe put maybe bevel it. It's gonna have to go around and select all of them to do it though. But yeah, so that's one approach for a hole in the wall. Although yours would be bigger, and I guess your shapes would be more, maybe more like it was built of boulders, since there's boulders that fell out. So maybe you want to sense that like behind the smooth wall are like kind of stacked boulders, and so you would like see that through there, like you would, like you would sort of see that the wall is kind of made of. Like that there's like some kind of smooth, facade on top of it, but the fundamental structure is like a series of boulders. Um, you also might, I don't know, you could try doing a transparency map to get like a more interesting kind of rough edge look. Or just sort of model a drag a shape from scratch into a boolean. Those are all possibilities. But I kind of like sort of having a sense of like seeing what the wall is really made of, and if it's really made of boulders that are stacked up, which would explain why. Um, you know, so if we saw this smash and like around the edges, we could see, oh, really, it was just neatly stacked up boulders, and then kind of like plastered over the front of them to make the smooth wall. It would justify all these pieces here, because those rocks don't necessarily look like they're pieces of broken wall, depending on what the wall is made of. So think about the construction of the wall, how you imagine it was made, and then base the break and the debris on that. But yeah, generally it's coming along nicely. I was thinking maybe, I like that these have vents, but maybe there's other little details because they look a little, I mean, maybe it'll be in the texture too, but I think some more geometric detail on these, I don't know, little cables going in and out of them, or I mean, I don't know what they're exactly supposed to be, but something that gives them a sense of what their function is, I think would be good.